Wow, it's been a long time since I made a video. This video has been on my list for actually a few months, and I'm finally getting around to it because I've been learning so much AI stuff. I've been actually really overwhelmed by it. And sometimes I'm not even able to like synthesize what I've even learned. And so everything's just moving very, very fast. But this is one tool that I've been able to go through and I understand it completely and I want to explain it to you. This is called Google Flow. And you can use this image and video creator on a free plan, but you're throttled by credit limits. And then it also and if you hear sneezing and hacking, that's my dog laying over here on the floor. That's not me making those noises. Anyway, you can create images and videos, and then on a paid plan, you get a lot more credits. So on a free plan, you get 50 credits a day. Those do not accumulate, so you use them or lose them. So when you first go to Google Flow, you're going to have to create a new project. It's the only way to get into a tool is to I don't know what she's doing, is to either create a new project or open an existing project. So I'm going to actually just do new project. And you'll notice since it's an empty project, it's actually given me some options here on what I can do initially. One of the first things I like to do is rename my projects because it will be defaulted to the date and time. And I don't like that. So this is just going to be called Google Flow Practice. And I'm going to rename that. Now, this over here is your chat feature. This is where you're going to get your work done. And you can either use it right here on the side, or if you exit that out, you will get it down here. So it's just a matter of preference, honestly. You'll notice you have the option to turn the agent on or off. When you leave the agent on, it's going to make more decisions on your behalf. So it's going to try to understand what you want. You'll notice when it is on, you can adjust some settings over here. You can choose your default image and video size and how many generations you want. I'm sorry, I didn't know she was going to be hacking like that, or I wouldn't have let her stay in here. However, the agent can make a different choice. This is just your standard options. As far as I know, and we're going to test this in this video, your agent can override these settings based on what it thinks is best. I leave it on to confirm before generating because it's going to use up your credits. So it does confirm that with you, but you could shut that off if you've got plenty of credits, whatever. Now, if you shut the agent off, then you'll notice you have a lot of other options here. So you can choose to use a video, you can have start and end frames, you can use ingredients, you can choose the size, how many generations, what model. But if you are using the agent, it's going to make all those decisions for you. Okay, let's just go ahead and create some images of some dogs riding dirt bikes. So we're going to get some images going to get us a starting point. And you're going to notice over here, your assets for this particular project will begin to populate over here. When you first go into a project, it's going to be on all media. So you're going to be able to see your images, your uploads, your videos, all on one screen. But you will then be able to filter it based on the types of images that or the types of assets you have, which images obviously is one of them. You'll see images has now populated here. Creating images so far for me has not used up any of my credits. So I create images all the time because it doesn't ever shut me down. So I can create as many images as I want. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, I've got to wait for this to be completed before I start another one. Okay, so we have some dogs on there. All right, create a reel. So I'm specifying a type of video, which should change from the default 16:9 to a 9:16. Let's see if it does that. Create a reel of a dog riding a wheelie across a mountain range. He should be on this ATV. Okay, a dog riding a wheelie on it. And I'm going to upload here. So I choose add to add ingredients. This will influence the output. And you have all kinds of things you can choose from. You can choose an ingredient from this particular project. You can actually choose ingredients from past projects. You can add videos, voices, characters. If you've set up your avatar, you can add your avatar. So actually, I'm going to add me to this. I am standing by on the side. So I'll just be in there. Okay. But anyway, back to adding. I'm going to show you how to upload. So I'm going to upload a picture of my son. Let's see if I can find a better one than that on his four-wheeler. Okay, well, I don't want to take a whole lot of time. I'm just going to pick this one. It is a Christmas designed shirt design. So, but I want it to only pull the ATV from that image. So we'll see how good this works. So I'm using an uploaded image and I'm going to have my avatar standing there on the side. So we've got to wait for this to upload. And once it does, we're going to go ahead and go. So this should create a video. Now, here in a moment, it should ask me if I do want to spend those credits. Okay, so here it's asking me, hey, I'm going to go ahead and create this video. Do you approve? Approve. Of course, I want to do that because that is going to cost me 15 credits. So I can always track my credits up here. You get 50 a day. I've just used up 15. I got 35 left. Okay. And I can see here, it did sense the size that I needed. I did not have to manually select that. It knows that a reel means, you know, is it 9/16 or 16:9? It's the 9/16. We're going to come back to that. I'm going to go ahead and move down here and show you how this is organized. So this, again, is all your media. These are just your images. These are just your videos. Here you can create characters. So let's say I'm going to upload something. I think I've got a little dog somewhere. How about this cow? Okay. What happened? Oh, she's still uploading. Once it's completely uploaded, then I can go ahead and turn this into a character. And the characters don't seem to cost me credits either. So now it's just done it as it's, so it's uploaded the image. Now it's on the prompt. I got to describe my character. Stuck up ballerina dancer. Okay. And then I can choose a voice. She's going to be female. You could do sample dialogue if you wanted of something that she might say, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think you have to. And so now I'm going to title her Dancing Cow. Now, this, that's hilarious. Okay, so I'm done. So now I have Dancing Cow. This character is actually going to only be available in this folder. So, but I could use her in other projects later, but when I go to add her, I would have to search for her, which hopefully I come back to that and show you that later. I think you could figure that out, but well, actually, no, I'm going to just show you right now. I'm going to go ahead and add an avatar from a different project. So here's what you do. You can see in this project, I have this character. I keep calling the character an avatar. The avatar is you only. The character is anyone that is not you. Okay, so let's say I go to Polar Bear and look for characters. I didn't have any in there. I know I've got a character in bathroom. And I can add that one to my prompt. This horse says hello to Dancing Cow. Okay. And again, it's going to create a video because I've specified that there's going to be speaking. I'm assuming it's going to sense that and it's going to ask me to approve that. And then once that gets started, I'm going to go show you something else called tools. Tools are really, really cool. Tools are useful if you have a certain workflow that you repeat over and over. So for example, let's say you have, dirt bike images, and every single time you need to remove the background and then vectorize it and then, do a few other things. You can create a tool for that workflow. And that way you don't have to reprompt every single time. And it looks like it just went ahead and created that and charged me and did not ask me. So that's okay. Let's go down to tools. So, like I said, if you have a paid account, you can create your own tools for your own workflow. But I don't have a paid account. I'm on the free account. And so I'm going to show you a tool that's already been made. So you can use any of these tools that have already been made. You can take your time and look through these. I'm just going to give you an example. This one's called Mockup. And this is where you can take your designs and put them onto different products. So I'm going to go ahead and get an image. I'm going to choose an image from this project. I'll choose this dog on a dirt bike. And I want to see that dog on a laptop. I want to see that design on a shirt and on a mural. And so these are going to generate, and these will become image assets in my folder. And this is super, super cool for creating mockups. And you can do custom mockups here too. Let's say I wanted it on a white Gildan hoodie. I'm not sure if it's going to let me use a brand. It doesn't seem like that's going to work. Could be because of the brand, or maybe it's because I have the free account. It won't let me. It did let me create a coffee cup earlier today. I wonder if maybe, oh, okay, it just doesn't add it there to the options. It just adds the image. So there you go. There it is on a shirt. There it is on the side of a building. There it is on a hoodie. Here it is on a mug. I'm wondering about this mural. I want to see if it's always the same town or if it does something new every time. We'll see. But anyway, there's all kinds of tools. And like I said, you can create your own tools. You can also remix tools if you have the paid account. So let's say you wanted to make sure that there was always a coffee cup option here, or you wanted every image you pull in to be vectorized first or something. You could add that. So you could remix this and make it your own. So it does change the building every time. Super cool. Okay, let's get back up here and you will see that all of those mockups are now part of my assets in this project. Let's go ahead and look at the videos.
Hello? Hello?
Okay. And there's the dog.
Go! You got this! Unbelievable! Keep going!
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. It did pull parts of my son's four-wheeler, but this actually is not his, but it was a black and white picture. So I can see where that would be hard to, to pick up on that. So here's your videos. Scenes are also videos. I don't actually know why these are separate, actually. Let's ask. They seem like the same thing. Because it wasn't, but just a few weeks ago, I was creating videos in scenes. Videos were scenes, and now they've got them separated. I don't know. Maybe I just missed that. Let's see if the agent can explain this to us. So this is what's nice about having an agent too. You don't just use it to create videos and images. You can use it for other things as well while you're here. So you can see it's telling you, it's clarifying the distinction between them. It sure is taking a long time. Individual video clips are your raw materials. Scenes are where you assemble them. Okay. I want to create a scene of the horse and cow video. Let's see if it will start one for me. I can either tell it or I can probably drop a video in. I can go here and go add. I can easily build them in the flow interface. Okay, so let's say add to this scene, because I'm not sure how you would add this to a scene. Add to scene. Okay. All right. So in videos, then you go add to scene, create scene. Okay. So here we are. So then we'll open the scene.
Hello.
And then you can add additional things. So depending on.
Hello.
Pause.
Hello. Hello.
That horse is very annoying.
Hello.
You can add additional clips. Let's see if we can add this one. It's a different size, so it still added it. Okay. I don't know if we can do transitions here. We can clip. Doesn't look like we can do transitions. Can I add a transition between the clips? And we'll see what it says. But anyway, that's really all there is to Flow. Once you're done, you can always download. I mean, obviously, this is a feature in everything. And then looks like you can download the whole project. They actually have some things you can do to learn about Flow. Honestly, it changes so much that I found that going there to learn is actually not that good because it's already outdated by the time I get there. So this video should get you up to speed on everything you need to know for using Google Flow. I mean, I think you're ready to go. Let me know what projects you create and have a great day. Bye.